It's the wildest ride on two wheels anywhere on the planet.
Jack Reed has gone down! Bikes and bodies have gone everywhere!
Where homegrown heroes clash with some of the best the world has to offer.
Jack Reed, Hanson's on the top blocks! Josh Hanson, that was unbelievable stuff between those two.
The first 3 rounds have seen an American freight train tear through the east coast of Australia.
Ladies and gentlemen, unbelievable ride for Kevin Windham.
Now it is New Zealand's turn to witness all the madness and mayhem that is Superx.
Wow! That was a bump and run, ladies and gentlemen.
Local superstar Ben Townley, returning from the States, will be looking to take down series leader Josh Hanson.
Last on the gate, the first out of it, Josh Hanson gets the whole shot.
Matt Moss will look to hold on to a slender advantage in the lights ahead of Bopping, Larsen and Ryan Marmont.
Can you believe it? This is happening too fast. Marmont over the handlebars, but Lawson, Bopping takes victory.
One thing is for certain, the racing will be fast.
He has just been rounded up by Kevin Windham. Where did he come from?
The competition fierce.
Oh! Big crash! PJ Larsen.
As these Steel Machine warriors light up the track in the most exciting motorsport on dirt.
And this has been one of the best races we've seen all year. And Brayton has come away smelling like roses.
This is round 4 of the 2010 Monster Energy Superx Series, the Australian Supercross Championship.
Welcome to round 4 of Monster Energy Superx, the Australian Supercross Championships. We're in Auckland, New Zealand for the first of 2 international events in this sensational 7-round series. Hello everyone, I'm Lee Hogan, joined by former motocross, supercross and freestyle guru Danny Ham. Now Danny, in rounds past, the open class has been dominated by Americans. Do you think tonight we might be able to get an Aussie or maybe even a Kiwi on that top step of the podium?
I think so. Look, these guys have been knocking on the door the whole time. They're very fast indeed, and you know what, I think any of them guys could really step up and take it away from the Americans.
Now in the lights class, it's been a great battle between PJ Larsen and our championship points leader, Matt Moss, but now we've got a third person to throw in the mix.
Well, we've always known how fast Lawson Bopping has been, and it just hasn't clicked over until the last round. He really excelled there. He had some great consistent results, and he ended up coming away with the win, and he is very fast today as well. I think he's going to be a major player.
Now, local hero Ben Townley resides in America, just signed a contract to race in Europe next year in the World Championships. He's excited, he can't wait to get into it.
It's going to be great. You know what? These guys from the New Zealand guys that we got here this weekend are very fast. They look great out in practice. Not usually the Supercross riders, but these guys have picked up so much speed in America. Big threat to everyone else out in the field today.
Well, Danny, earlier on you got to catch up with Ben Townley. Talk to him a little bit about his ride next year and a couple of other things. Let's hear what he had to say.
Ben Townley, welcome to Superx. You're looking pretty good out there earlier on.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's fun to be out there. I was pretty gutted I missed out on last year in Hamilton, and definitely vowed that I'd be here if I was ready to go, and had a good season in America, and was ready to get out here once it rolled into New Zealand.
Now, the formats for tonight's event in Auckland, in the lights class, we've got the triple challenge, but for the open class, we've got the quad challenge, and that's the first time we've had this format this year, and it's so exciting if last year's anything to go on.
It's great. There's a lot of time out on the track for all the classes, and it's very important that you get consistent results. All the points add up for the overall on the night. They also add up for the championship. So you can gain a lot, you could lose a lot. And on a technical track like tonight, it's going to be very important that you are consistent.
Can't wait to get into it. Now, the third member of our commentary team, Gary Reid, he's also made the trek over here to New Zealand. Let's go down to Gary.
Now, boys, the one thing I love about being down here trackside, week after week, the track crew make very unique parts of the track. Now, I am standing here on a turn, which is actually turn number 1. Now, the field will be absolutely flying when they come through here. Now, the interesting thing about this part of the track in turn number 1 is 37 seconds later, the field, like the Serce Yamaha rider of Fort Dale, are going to come screaming through. So technically, if you stall your bike on the start line, it takes you 37 seconds, which is an average lap, to get it started, and you make it to this turn. If I was you, look over your right shoulder, because the leader is going to be coming straight over the top.
The track here at Auckland has 5 180-degree turns. That's perfect for setting up that aggressive passing move, which is what Superx fans love to see.
And I think we're going to see that tonight. I was speaking to some of the riders earlier on in the day, and they were talking about how sharp these berms were. So instead of being able to go in, use a different line, a nice clean pass, it's developing one rut and basically one line. So if you want to make a pass, you're probably going to have to do it very aggressive indeed.
All right, now we're about to get on board with Daniel Reardon. This is what it looks like up close and personal for these Supercross riders.
Straight into this little double across the start line and into our triple section. Pretty much a standard size triple, but Lee, the next part is going to play all the havoc all night.
High speed left-hand turn and into the biggest set of whoops we've seen all season. Starting to cup out a little bit and some straight line ruts.
And it's going to be hard to get through them whoops cleanly every time simply because they are cupping out. Into our rhythm section now. Triple, triple, and triple again. This is probably the smoothest and biggest rhythm section we've had all year.
And once again, another triple. Now the fast guys are tripling all the way out. Reardon, a little mistake there. Double, single. Big rut out of that finish line corner and up and over the finish line jump. All right, time for qualifying heats highlights for the open class. 2 heats, 10 laps each, and the top 10 place getters from each heat straight through to the final.
And there was drama straight away in the first turn. You just caught a glimpse of Ben Townley going around the outside of the jumps. There is Phillips as well, Todd Waters. This track has been watered so much, none of these guys expected how slippery it was actually going to be.
Keep an eye on the next corner up the inside unless he tips it in and goes down, but psychs out Townley in the process, and he goes off the track, and I guess Michael Lessie here gets the better of the two and straight back on.
This is second place right here, Ty Simmons. Now he was looking good in practice at 350, probably would have been suited much better to these slippery conditions, getting the power down to the ground just a bit better.
Now this is devastating news for the local New Zealand fans here. Ben Townley has gone down, separated hip, and they are currently right now trying to put it back into place.
Yeah, that was a terrible crash, but Moss went and took the win, no problem at all. And I tell you, he really cleared out from everyone. He is going to be the force tonight to try and beat. There is Townley, though, a bad start. Well, bad start. You couldn't get any worse, unfortunately, being carted off.
Qualifying heat 2 for the opens and some big guns here. What a start from Daniel Reardon up the inside. Josh Hansen also, but Reardon controls the inside. It's about to get interesting.
Yeah, well, we thought from here on, Reardon's going to find some speed, but look at this. Inside pass by Hansen and Reardon just spinning out. Unfortunate for Reardon, that momentum was just taken away right there.
This is the first that we've seen of Jeff Alessi, Michael Alessi's brother, and he is so fast. He's got such a nice technique on the motorcycle.
You know what? Coming into this, I said, Jeff Alessi, who? It really, you know what, I didn't think much of him, but then after practice, my God, I was so surprised. How fast was he? Incredible. And it was just so hard for any of these guys. But look to the right of the screen right there. This is what we were talking about. Hansen possibly just maybe losing concentration for a second over the berm and loses the lead. Actually drops back to 4th place.
Dropped that front wheel off the outside of the berm and in the process drops himself back to 3rd place. And that, of course, left Jeff Alessi out the head of the pack with a nice little gap over his teammate, Jay Marmont.
Now let's take a look at the start list of this one. Final number 1, remember it is a triple challenge tonight. Matt Moss, PJ Larsen, Cade Mosick, and Ford Dale. So he's qualified well in his qualifying earlier on today.
Yes, he has. In the triple challenge, of course, 3 by 6 lap events. This is going to be super exciting. Luke Arbon, Robbie Marshall, Cody Mackie, and Josh Cachia.
We've got all the top names up there. Surprising though, Ryan Marmont and Lawson Bopping were quite a long way down the list.
Yes, they were. Now, very sad story, something we have to make mention. A rider missing from the list here, Harley Quinlan, the Yamaha development rider, Rockstar Yamaha development rider, had a massive crash at Robbie Marshall's track earlier this week, spinal damage, and our sincere thoughts are with the whole family.
Also, Luke Bond as well had a bigger crash as well. So yes, you're right. The thoughts of the whole Superx community have all put out their best wishes and hope for a good recovery out of all of them. It's tragic news, but let's take a look at what we've got on hand right now. The 30-second Jayco board is up, so these guys are getting set for the first of their races. There is Larsen sitting right next to Moss and Mosig, Mackie. The whole lot of them are bunched up right there.
And 3 finals back-to-back, 6 laps each. The 30-second board is sideways. PJ Larsen, we've got Marmont, we've got Mossy. Who's going to jump out of the gate first?
Larsen.
No, it looks to be Larsen.
Yeah, Larsen. How dare you doubt me, Lee Hogan. Oh, it looked like one guy's gone down in the back there. I'm not sure who it was, but it's definitely Larsen with a good jump out. Errol Willis, it looked like they're in second place, a good one. And Moss just goes up the inside of him. He's moved into second. He has got his sights set on our leader.
Well, that's the battle that we've come to expect, is between PJ Larsen and Matt Moss. Mossy already through to second place, but Errol Willis back there in third. He is such a good kid, and he is trying to make it in Supercross. Ryan Marmont up the inside. He's trying to slot into third. Now, just take a look here. The whole shot line there for Ensure My Ride was clearly as you called it.
Oh, PJ Larsen, you're right, Lee Hogan. I did call that one, no problem at all. And there's Larsen now stepping up into the triple for the first time. Oh, behind them, a rider just getting tangled up. I saw just coming over the
that was Luke Arbon. Look, Arbon. Now, that's Bopping has gone down. Bopping has gone down massively. Now, what has happened there?
I think two riders went over that double together. Someone come from the inside. It looks like Mackie as well, was it?
Larsen is doing a terrific job at the moment. He's got himself a little bit of a lead now, running off to the side of the track there. Is number
Wiki.
5, that's Wiki.
Okay. Oh, look at that in the background. What a huge crash it was between Bopping and that was the crash there. So it wasn't even the one. Here's the one I saw coming in the background. Oh, no, there is
Wiki up short and straight over the handlebars on the Honda machine.
And another guy going down into the whoops. That was a big crash right there. Everything going down in this first lap. As we see Larsen heading into the triple and then the whoops again. Moss really hasn't been able to do much with this one. Remember, 3 races zone. He only needs to get a good result in this race to get a good result overall at the end of the night.
Now the lap times, fastest from PJ Larsen, a 38.2. Fastest from Matt Moss, a 38.49. So a little bit of a difference there, both in the 38s, and they are the only 2 riders in the 38s. Back in third place, Stephen Clark.
Steve Clark, we saw a good result out of him 2 rounds ago. I think it was Canberra. We saw a good result out of him. Didn't have the best of luck in Launceston, but he is back up there with a good one this time around. As we see final lap for Larsen going over the triple, and he has really stretched out that lead.
If you keep an eye on the riders going across the top of the screen, you'll see Errol Willis still in 6th place, and what a great job for the privateer. But not long to go now for PJ Larsen as he heads around and into the rhythm section. Double.
And double, yes, but I tell you, it's working for him right now. He's got all these inside lines working. I think the disadvantage of going the outside is that it's a little slow through that rut. You can caught up, but race 1 victory will go to Larsen. Coming across in second and a good result is Matt Moss. 3rd place across, there is Steve Clark.
It's all about recovery here in the Triple Challenge format. Not long they'll be back on the start. Well, they're back on the start line. Not long till the drop of the gate. Lights final 1, Larsen, Moss, Clark and Marmont. That's our top 4.
Dale comes across in 5th. Luke Styke comes across in 6th. Errol Willis 7th. Josh Cachia in 8th.
Now I'm just going to try and pick up where we lost Cade Mosig to. He finished way back, but Nicholas Sutherland there in 9th place. Sam Duncanson, Taylor Potter and Cody Mackie. Now the 30-second board is sideways. We're back in the starter's hands. We've just been given the word there is 2 6-lappers instead of 3.
Errol Willis, where did you come from? Big hole shot right there as they go into this first triple. Have a look at this. Oh, this is nasty. Oh, big case out by Cachia. Willis goes back to 3rd. I think it's Dale who's come out the best out of everyone. He sits in the lead.
Now there were riders going up and down in different rhythms there, and that is the easiest way to snap a wrist in half. When that happens, the radius and the ulnar bone just go twink and snap.
Okay, let's look through the field to see where everyone is. There is Moss in about 5th place. He's coming through. He's got some challenge there with Arbon, and up the inside was also Styke. As we see our leader now coming across the finish line, that is Dale, a much better start.
Now we know Dale on the Serco Yamaha has got unbelievable speed. He is so fast. He loves Supercross. He's got all the attributes, all the ingredients to make a Supercross superstar. He just needs a little bit of luck, and he needs to keep it on 2 wheels. When he gets into a position like this, sometimes he gets the red mist in the eyes. He just goes a little bit too hard.
He does, absolutely, but he's already pulling out a bit of a lead as they go into the combo section. Keep your eye in the background. We'll try and pick up where the rest of the guys are. That is Marmont in 3rd place. Willis having some problems. Moss right there, still battling it out with Arbon, but behind them and a long way back was our race 1 winner, PJ Larsen.
Well, KTM back there in 2nd and 3rd, but Josh Cachia in 2nd place. Now, he's on the Coastal KTM. He's had a couple of good results so far this year, but a couple of bad ones as well. He needs to find some consistency. I would love him to stay in a top 3 position here.
Well, once again, we see the ever-consistent Marmont sits back there in third. As they go into the whoops, he's behind, as you said, the Cachia on the KTM. Now, I just saw a glimpse then too. It does not appear that Moss has been able to make do and make his way around. Oh, there he is. No, where is Moss? We have lost Moss in the background. Moss has gone down somewhere. Oh, there is a challenge. There is Moss. He is down just after the whoops.
After the whoops, and he's come together with Arbon, and he cannot get the bike started, and there's a bit of a push. He is not happy. He has a massive championship points lead, and he is devastated. Oh!
That is not necessary, Moss, just because your bike is broken, mate. This is racing, unfortunately. And there is definitely a problem there. I would assume it looks like a gear lever, possibly, or something there, yeah.
There's something major, and we don't know if a couple of bikes have come together. We're not sure what's happened.
Looks Gary Reid.
All right, boys, we have absolutely no drive. We got neutral only. It's going to be a clutch problem. Matt Moss is absolutely fuming, as you saw a little bit earlier on. He's trying to get it fixed, but no go at all.
If it is clutch problem, then that has nothing to do with the crash and the connection with another bike, because there is nothing there that a clutch can get damaged from the crash.
Well, you know what? It's all speculation at the moment. We will have to wait and find out. We can have fun speculating all we like.
You know what? I just saw, look behind him. Look behind him. The bike is now running again.
The bike's now running again. Yep. So, well, the main thing that we need to talk about is final lap for Ford Dale. The Serco Yamaha rider is in fine position here as he comes around the final corner. This will be smiles all over the dial of Ford Dale. What a sensational ride here in the second of the finals.
Finally, he gets the result he deserves. He just has not had the luck go his way so far.
All right, Matt Moss, number 1, this is his bike. Do you think he's out? Come with me, boys. Now, you guys up there, you know how individual all these bikes are. Matt Moss has come off the track. Stephen Clark, he is shorter. He weighs different weight to Mossy. He is the complete opposite, has walked up and handed Mossy his spare bike, which is way down this end here. In the 3rd worst grid pick you could have. Matt Moss is on a completely different bike. He is now bike 43.
Let's see if Errol Willis can get a good start again. He had a great run out of the inside. Goes down.
Good jump from Willis. He jumped out awesome, and he's up the inside. He will control the inside, but Larsen with a great start. He has really taken advantage of this. This could be the change of the championship right here as we see the boys coming across the triples. There is Marmont sitting in 3rd, and we look back, Mossy just entering the whoops right there, and all over the place. It's tough on that borrowed bike. Now, you know, it will be extremely tough. He's going to be on suspension that he doesn't know how it handles. The first time through the whoops must have been so treacherous, and hitting these jumps with ruts and kickers.
In the background, 3 riders going down. Suzuki's, was any of them Moss? No, Moss has come through clean. That looks like Steve Clark, and the second rider, we're not sure, 87, we'll have to pick that one up.
I saw Lawson Bopping come through and around about 4th or 5th last. Duran Stapleton back there as well. There's all kinds of carnage here in lap 1, but no carnage for the head of the pack. A little bit of a tweak there going into that corner for PJ Larsen, but he is just all over these whoops tonight. Those long legs always playing to the hands.
I have not seen anyone commit to the whoops as much as he does today. He is absolutely flying coming into him. There is the combo section where we saw him change up his lines, and this one running to the inside now. I wonder if we'll see any of the 250 riders, the open 450 riders doing that a little later on.
Now, sorry, Danny, have a look back here. 2nd place, Luke Styke, but how about the gap between 1st and 2nd place?
Whoa, bump and run. There is Moss coming through on 151.
Sutherland, he's having a great little run here. He just got pushed a little bit high in the corner, but that's part of Supercross. You can't get too phased by getting a little bit of a bump. You need to rebound and get back into it.
There is Moss, and right behind Moss, still Arbon. So, wow, I wonder if we might see a challenge out of Arbon. He's really going to have to push it if he wants to get up there. But Moss is doing a pretty exceptional job on that borrowed bike right now.
He'll be doing a great job if he can keep in front of Arbon, because he'll be not too happy about that altercation before. He's going to try to reel in the Suzuki rider who has got bigger and better things on his mind. He needs to try to somehow damage control for this championship.
Yeah, absolutely. Now I'm going through the positions on our computer screen just in front of us, and I can see that Ford Dale last time across the finish line was in 10th place. Last race he wins. This one he's in 10th. I mean, it's a long way back. It just goes to prove how important it is for consistency through these triple and quad challenge races. as we see our leader going into the whoops once again. There is Larsen. Have a look at the humongous lead. Second place entering the whoops now is Styke, and he's still looking good. We are on our final lap.
Final lap for PJ Larsen, and he has switched it down into cruise control. He has done a terrific job here tonight on the KTM, the GYTR Motorex KTM.
There's a good battle too, just in second. Mossy is really pushing it hard to try and make that last pass as they go into the last sort of turn. Mossy will come to the inside, a win though by Larsen. Let's see how they come across the finish line. Oh, Mossy has made the pass on the last turn.
Well, that was amazing stuff from Matt Moss. He has really done the best that he could do in the situation on a borrowed bike. He has come up trumps, no problem whatsoever, but PJ Larsen is the one that shone the brightest here tonight.
Yeah, no tough feelings between the two. Obviously, it was a good pass. We didn't see it. It was off screen right there between Styke and Moss. Both of them have no problem with it, so that's great to see. Good hard riding between the two and no problems at all. Well, let's take a look at the results off final number 3. PJ Larsen, as we've already called it, takes the win. Matt Moss, Luke Styke dropping back to 3rd, and Ryan Marmont, again consistent 4th place. Luke Arbon, Cody Mackie, Robbie Marshall, and then Kate Mosey.
Mosey once again way back and not where we would expect. 8th, not too bad, but still not what we would expect. Nicholas Sutherland, Sam Duncanson, Peter Broxham, and Kieran Tisdale. And we're going to take a look at the best hole shot here, and it of course is
PJ Larsen.
PJ Larsen. He has just been unbelievable tonight.
You know what? He is so much bigger than everyone else. You wouldn't think that he would get up there in the hole shots as much as he does. As we look at the whole shot table right now, Marmont with 2, Matt Moss with 2, PJ Larsen also with 2. I think both of them came tonight.
How about it, PJ Larsen? Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks a lot. You know, I actually just looked down and looked at my gear, and this is the gear I wore at Newcastle. So I guess there's something about the bright colored gear. I need to stay away from the black.
Let's take a look at the championship points. PJ Larsen on top, 210 points. He is 9 clear of Matt Moss.
Yes, that's it definitely has hurt Matt Moss, but he's still in with a good chance back there in second place. It is only 9 points, and that is not too much really in this overall view of the championship. Lawson Bopping back there in 5th place on 130. And the rest of the guys going through there. Robbie Marshall on the 2-stroke 250. He's back there in 10th place. Luke Styke would have jumped up a lot there in 9th place, 103 points.
And Cade Mosey back in 12th. We're just over halfway through the show here at Monster Energy Superx. Next up, it's Pro Open time with the Quad Challenge. Don't go anywhere.
The first 3 rounds of the Opens category have been largely dominated by the American riders, with the exception of round 1, where Chad Reed thrilled a home crowd and took back-to-back victories in a doubleheader.
So what a dream come true for the kid from Curry takes victory here at Newcastle, round 1 of Monster Energy Superx.
Round 2 would see an absent Reed replaced by a superstar of the sport, Kevin Windham. And it didn't take long for the man known simply as K-Dub to assert himself as the rider to beat.
Up the inside, pushes him in.
Stretching it out like back home.
Windham means business here tonight.
Race 2 would see Brayton and Windham locked in a battle of attrition on a slick and slippery track.
Bike 14, the Honda rider of Kevin Windham, and correct me if I'm wrong, Lee, it looks like Brayton is closing up.
Until Brayton pushed too hard.
Brayton has gone down completely sideways.
Race 3, and Windham shot out of the gates.
Kevin Windham makes it easy for himself with a hole shot.
He would not be caught and took an emphatic race and round victory.
Ladies and gentlemen, unbelievable ride for Kevin Windham.
Round 3, and it would be a battle of survival.
This is heat 2 of the survival, and who is going to jump out?
Literally, they started the bike again. Can you believe that? The last time they gave the first out of it, Josh Hansen gets the whole shot.
The first 3 races saw relatively few upsets.
And it will be Brayton that comes across here from 2 wins. And remember, he is safe going into the next one.
And it was 3 Americans and 2 Australians who would contest the final.
Ready for the final race of the night. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are on board with Josh Hansen. He's got himself another hole shot here.
Inside.
Moss has gone down. Jake Moss on the Rockstar Motul Suzuki. There is no coming back from here.
This would leave the Americans and Marmont to battle it out for podium honours.
It is Hansen. Oh, on the inside, Brayden, will he do it?
Goes to the outside and takes the lead.
Brayton finally taking an overall victory in his last race for the series.
And this has been one of the best races we've seen all year, and Brayton has come away smelling like roses.
With Hansen in second, increasing his lead in the overall championship.
All right, let's take a look at the championship points tally after round 3. Josh Hansen on top with 130 ahead of Justin Brayton, who is not with us for the remainder of the championship, on 121. And there it is back to Jay Marmont in 3rd place.
You're right, there is a few names on this list that won't be here for the rest of the championship, so they will drop out of it as we continue on with our rounds. But it is going to be the battle between the two riders of Hansen and Marmont who are going to go for this championship. And I'll tell you, Marmont has got a little bit of work to do to get up there and step it up with Hansen. But as we've already mentioned, consistency is the game, and he is one of the most consistent riders out there.
That is for sure. The Quad Challenge format's got intensity written all over it. 4 races back-to-back, 6 laps each race with just 5 minutes between each event. Points accumulate for the overall, but obviously we have got every single event is points scoring throughout the championship.
You're exactly right, and that is the big difference. If you do make a mistake or are unable to run a race, then you can lose quite a lot of points in this whole series. So very important. Again, consistency is the big key.
Well, this is the thing, fitness plays such a major factor with the Quad Challenge because you've got the same amount of laps, well, if not actually more, every race being 6 laps. So we've got more than our traditional 20-lapper, but we've got just that tiny little gap in between each one.
It's kind of harder to do as well, to go out there and have that small gap. It's much easier to get into a rhythm for 20 laps and just nut them out and ride them perfect 20 in a row. To go back to the start, restart, you have to try and find your rhythm again. Your heart rate is already through the roof when you start the second race, third, fourth. It's not easy at all.
As we keep scrolling through the start list here for Superx Final 1, not only that, but you have to once again remount another challenge for a start and a first turn, quite possibly the most dangerous part of any race.
It is, but you know what? If you're confident and you're ready to go into that first turn and you think you're going to get there first, you'll probably have a good chance of it.
Daniel Reardon's been getting great starts. Jake Moss, Jeff Alessi's been getting good starts. Let's not forget about Jay Marmont. Now the board is sideways. You can see the riders looking down at the start gate, and they're up, and Marmont's jumped out good, but Josh Hansen has rocketed out on the Monster Energy Kawasaki.
Once that bike hits that third gear, it just launched out of there as we see all the riders all very tight and tangled up. Over the triple first time, there is Hansen, Marmont in second place, then it was Moss, and a big run through the whoops there by a Yamaha rider. Oh, that's the Yamaha rider I saw.
Alessi just went straight through the end of the whoops and over. He had so much entry speed coming in. There's Michael Phillips, the New Zealander on the Honda machine.
Yeah, wow, what a start. That is not the way Alessi wanted to be created into the racing scene of the Superx here in New Zealand this week. Unfortunately for him, he's got a lot of work to do, but out in front it is Hansen, up over the triple. Now he's on lap number 2, obviously, and not too much longer to go. There is Marmont behind them, Simmons, and then it looked like Reardon, McCoy, another Alessi ride there as well.
And so we need to mention, Danny, that Jake Moss has moved up into second now. He's dropped Marmont back to 3rd place. Now, I was kind of hoping for a little bit of a battle. I know there's been a couple of press releases out during the week from Jay Marmont saying it is time to start to reel in Josh Hansen in the championship points, telling he needs to get up there and battle with the Kawasaki rider, who looks like he's on his A game tonight.
Yes, no doubt about that. He does look good on that Kawasaki as he goes around another lap down. The only challenge I can see coming out of this is Moss, maybe, if he can get up there. He has the speed, but it's all going to come down to some good, clean laps out of these guys to see who makes the mistakes and who can control it all the way to the end.
Both of these guys have dropped Marmont off the back, and back there in 4th place, Ty Simmons, Daniel McCoy rounding out the top 5, and then we're back to Mike Alessi.
Final lap now for these guys into the whoops. There is Hansen. He still looks good. Moss is trying to do something over this last lap, but very important to get a good result in this first race for the overall tonight as well. So don't want to do anything silly and come unstuck in these later parts of this race.
Yeah, half a lap to go. Well, actually a couple of corners to go, and there's still a little bit in it. We'll take a mistake from the Kawasaki rider, which I don't believe will happen, as he comes through the final corner, up and over the finish line, in victory in the first of the Quad Challenge here at Auckland, New Zealand. What a terrific ride for the Kawasaki rider.
great way to start the night's proceedings there for the Monster Energy Kawasaki rider.
Let's have a look at the results from final one here. Josh Hansen, of course, the winner ahead of Jake Moss, Jay Marmont, and Ty Simmons. Great job on the 350.
Still a great result for all of them guys for the first race of the Quad Challenge. Mike Alessi comes across in 5th place. There is Cooper and Reardon, as you said. McCoy on the Coastal KTM. Bo Ralston. Todd Waters in 10th place. Lewis Woods, also the privateer rider, having a good one there. Matt Hayworth, another privateer, having a great result. Luke Davis on the 14. We've seen him at pretty much all the rounds as well. Hayden Clark, Aaron Jane, and Jeff Alessi, D and F. So that crash we saw earlier on took him out completely.
Now, Jeff Alessi, not the ideal start, but this is the first time you've ever raced this format. It's going to play in your favour. We're lining up and doing it all again.
Yeah, you know, that first time through the whoops there, I kind of made a mistake, and, you know, that's how it goes. But, you know, we have 3 more races here, so I'm going to go out there, and I'm just going to try hard, you know, and not have any more mistakes. And that's what my goal is.
All right, well, good luck. Great to have you here, part of the CDR Rockstar Yamaha team for the rest of the season.
We're in the starter's hands here. The 30-second board is sideways. We can see Reardon and Alessi on screen. Alessi completely messed up the start, and he is back near last place. But once again, Hansen is up at the head of the pack.
I'll tell you what, Hansen did not get the jump. He should not have got the whole shot, but he has managed to drive himself into that first turn first once again.
Now, first and second place is exactly the same as final one. Josh Hansen, second place is Jay Marmont. However, it was Jake Moss that relegated Marmont back to 3rd place. Now, hopefully Marmont might be able to keep a bit of an eye here on Hansen and see if he can, you know, try to catch a bit of a ride.
There is McCoy back there in 3rd place. Jeff Alessi just landing a little bit short back there in 4th, and behind them was Moss. And Moss has got some work ahead of him. Up the inside of that final turn to the background, you can just see the pass made by Moss. He has moved himself up into 4th place now.
Well, like we said earlier on, a night like this, when 4 races accumulate points for overall, you need to have good races in every one. You can't afford to have a bad one. Makes it very difficult to get you up on top of the podium, and that's what Mossy's trying to do at the moment. He's trying to make his way up at least into 2nd place.
Oh, a little moment there for McCoy as he goes across and drops into that last group. Now, Marmont hasn't dropped too far off the back, so maybe he's had a little bit of a pep talk back there in the starting gate by his team and is helping him getting going. But this is what he needs to do if he wants to challenge for this championship. There is Marmont, and Moss has not closed in at all. You know what? He's really going to have to push hard to catch up to him. I think Marmont's found another gear in this race. He looks very, very good, and probably different, I think, than the first race.
Do you think he may have found a couple of lines, perhaps, from Josh Hansen?
Could have, absolutely. Josh Hansen seems to have this track down pat, no problem at all. And he probably has just sat back there having a look and trying to keep up with him. He has dropped back a little bit now, but it is the final lap. There's no need to worry about making a ridiculous charge to try and get up there. He's probably not going to do it this race. Save it for the next couple, find some more lines over this last lap, and go out and battle it out over the last 2 races.
Yeah, as he's on the final lap at the moment, I think it may have been the fact that just recently he went and had a look at the Melbourne Cup with my good friend Brent Lamb and had a good time and relaxed a little bit. But this is not relaxed as he heads over and piffs the bike sideways, and a terrific win there in the final 2 of the Quad Challenge.
Marmont across with a good result in 3rd place. And I think it was Moss coming across Marmont in 2nd, Moss in 3rd. So good results by them all. Hansen, though, he's looking the goods. It's going to be tough to knock him off the top perch tonight, I think.
Now, Ty Simmons back in 4th place and Cody Cooper in 5th. Daniel McCoy back to 6th place. So not too bad at all. All right, we have got 2 down and 2 to go here in the Pro Open Quad Challenge. Stick around. Plenty more action still to come here at Auckland. Welcome back to Monster Energy Superx. We're in Auckland, New Zealand for round 4 of the series. And we're about to go down to Gary Reid, who is with Jeff Alessi's CDR Rockstar Yamaha.
Now, boys, I feel like I should be cruising on a Harley. Have a look at this. Jeff Alessi comes to Australia, gets given 2 brand new $20,000 each Rockstar CDR Yamahas, and he's destroyed both of them. in the first couple of races here. And unfortunately, as you can see, Hogs, I mean, I don't pretend to be a good dirt bike rider. I don't think this one's going to be too rideable tonight. Jeff Alessi out.
As our 30-second board is up once again, race number 3.
Now this is final 3 of the quad challenge. Now this is where fitness starts to come into play. This is where your weekly training and your pre-season comes into play.
I wouldn't know. As we get ready for this one, the board goes sideways, gates go down, and we are ready. Underway for race 3.
Another great jump from Josh Hansen. He's got 3 hole shots if he controls his first turn, which he has.
He has, and right behind him was Moss as well. And I did see Marmont in the mix there. Oh, there is Phillips. Cody was so close to getting jumped on there.
Oh, that must have been very scary for him. Not to mention the riders dropping out of the sky, but Jake Moss back in second place. This is his chance if he's got any hope of throwing down some kind of a challenge to our race leader at the moment and trying to reel back some points.
And there's a good battle just developing right there. Phillips, there is also Simmons, Marmont, Daniel Reardon in behind them right there in the middle of the things. But it is Hansen and Moss coming over the finish line for the first time, and these guys are checking out already.
Now you're right, Danny back there in third place. Michael Phillips, that's the best effort from him so far tonight. But this is where the battle's going to continue as far as the overall.
In the background there was Phillips just making a real meal of things. He is a big hit there by Marmont. Nothing too aggressive, actually. That was quite nice, but a good pass by Marmont. Phillips was really out of control coming up to the triple. Simmons has taken advantage of it. He sits in third place now in front of Marmont, and then Daniel Reardon. Come on, Reardon.
Ty Simmons has been very consistent so far tonight. Now we're about to take a look at the hole shot from Ensure My Ride. Let's have a look here. Surprise.
Do we need another slow-mo replay of Hansen getting another hole shot for the night? I mean, how great is this guy on the start here? Moss on screen going down into the combo section. Really has got a bit of work to go. But I don't think he's going to do it. And I'd like to see him get up there, but Hansen is just riding too good at the moment. He has not made a mistake yet, except for the one we saw in the heat race. But since then, he has locked everything into place, and he looks very good indeed.
Well, as we said earlier on, when he pulled the pin on that little altercation back earlier on in the night, we said that when the point scoring time counted, he would step up, and he certainly has. He has done it in a massive way.
Look at the lead that both of these guys have got over everyone else. They must be at least 8.932 seconds behind, I reckon.
At least I believe that sounds very, very accurate. You can put your calculator away now. Josh Hansen on the Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki, 25 on the machine with the red background, meaning he leads the championship, and he is one corner away from taking his third victory here. 3 out of 3 and 1 to go in the quad challenge.
Is anyone going to be able to step up there and take it away from him? Will he get a clean slate all night long? I think he will.
I think he will too.
Yeah, it's almost a safe bet at the moment, isn't it, with the way he's riding?
I think he'll get another hole shot.
Ooh, I think his win is more of a secure bet, but you're right, he has been so good out of the gate so far.
Let's have a look at the round's points so far. Josh Hansen on 75, Jake Moss 64, back to Marmont 62. Nice close little battle there.
It is very close still, so any of them could possibly win this one. However, it's going to take a big mistake, I would say, from Hansen before they could do that. As we go through the rest, there is Waters back there in 10th place. We expect to see him up there. He hasn't had the best starts tonight and just doesn't look like he's found his rhythm.
Luke Davis, Matty Hayworth, Luke Wilson, Michael Phillips, a lot of privateers there. Michael Phillips, of course, the factory Honda rider who hails from New Zealand.
18 points, and I'd say most of them would have come in that last race. He had a great start and, had a really good run in that one.
Now, Danny, you must agree with me. No one likes to see an event where you have someone clean sweep absolutely everything. We like to see nice, close little battles. However, the challenge is out now. It'd be great to see if Josh Hansen can get all 4 hole shots and win all 4 races. And we see a KTM there starting to overheat. Bo Ralston.
Yeah, Ralston, he's definitely got a hot bike on hand. Let's see how they go out of the gate as we watch the starting technique of the guy who's been hole-shotting every race. Gates go out, they launch out.
Put the Moz on Josh Hansen. He's back in the mid-pack there.
Oh, it looks like it was that Phillips once again out to a great start. Yes, indeed it is. Phillips, Moss, Marmont. Where is Hansen? He is deep in the pack.
Hansen way back in the pack, and Jake Moss in second place.
Reardon actually tapped Hansen going in there. There's a pass for the lead as well. There is Alessi and Reardon have gone down. I don't think that was together. It was a result of maybe some unfortunateness between the two just landing in the wrong spot, but A bad start for them. Let's look at the replay. Look towards the start of the whoops.
Oh, in the corner there.
Yeah.
It's just tagged. Daniel Reardon tagged the rear end of
someone else and then fell onto Alessi. So bad luck for Alessi.
Okay, so already in the lead is Jake Moss. He's relegated Marmont back to second place, and he's going to try and do what we like to call run and hide.
There's Phillips still sitting back there in third place as we see. Oh, Mossy!
Whoa, just completely jumped off the track.
Oh my lordy lord! How did that just happen and how did no one get hit?
Now, to someone that didn't really know what they were looking at, it would have looked like he just went through the whoops and just hopped a triple or something. That was a berm.
Yeah, that was a berm. Oh, geez, that was close and lucky. How is he still sitting in second place after that?
There was all kinds of things that had to be lucky right there. Lucky no one was coming in that opposite direction. Would have literally landed on top of them.
Now, let's set up the stage right now. You've got Marmont, who's had 3 great consistent results, and Hansen, well, he's just making a pass up the inside of McCoy right there.
Hansen is
Good
on it.
line.
He is already climbing his way up through the pack. This is his night tonight. Let's have a look at the whole shot replay here. Michael Phillips, the New Zealander, comes through with a clear bike length over Jake Moss, and he's just drifting that Honda sideways.
Motocross style across the top there. There is Hansen. He's in about 5th last place, so he has done a lot of work to get up where he is right now. I was trying to say that if Marmont ran away with this the way he is, he could be in a good position for the overall. However, Hansen has made up those fair few places, and he sits back there in 3rd or 4th. I'll have to wait and see. There's Moss in the background.
He's in 3rd place, and he's only a couple of seconds behind Jake Moss, and I think he's going to like this, to tell the truth. He doesn't need to get up to 1st place. He's going to have a little bit of a challenge here, and I want to see if he can catch up to Jake Moss.
I just saw Todd Waters come up the inside of Phillips as well, so Todd Waters finally finding his feet a little late in the night, but he now runs there in 4th place. As they go through the combo section, there is Waters on the 47 Honda just jumping into the turn, and McCoy behind them. There is Cody Cooper, who we have not seen all night as well. He should have definitely been up there a lot further as we go back to Hansen.
Josh Hansen in 3rd place, and he sets his sights on his arch rival here tonight. 2nd place rider, Jake Moss on the Rockstar Motul Suzuki. And we have a look back. I see in 16th place is Daniel Reardon. We're hoping he can start to make his way back up through the pack. But the roller coaster season for Reardon continues.
What a great freight train it was back there for the minor placings between all them guys. There is Marmont out in the lead. A little bobble in the turn there, a stop and start, but he's still managing to do these triples. He's coming around. You'll see the last lap board this time around. Indeed, it is out.
Now, I've noticed in these 3 finals that Marmont hasn't played with his clutch quite as much, Hammy. I'm not sure if you've noticed that or what, but I don't know if that's solved the clutch problem or he's just decided not to play with it quite as much.
I think, you know what, he has found his form and he's not worried anymore. He's thinking about his riding. Possibly it was playing on his mind a little bit.
Maybe it's a subconscious thing. Do you think he realises he's doing it?
Yeah, I don't think he does. I don't think it's intentional, but it was very clear that he was. However it is, whatever he's done different, he has found the form over these last couple of races. Right now sits in 1st place, and he has only got 2 turns to go.
And this is what we expect to see from him. Is going exceptionally well as he takes the last corner up and over the finish line jump, and victory for Jay Marmont, the CDR Rockstar Yamaha. He's got to be happy with that. No fist pump, I think. From Marmont, perhaps he's thinking to himself, this is where I deserve to be. About time I'm back up here again. And a nice little handshake there from Jake Moss. Josh Hansen just flies on by.
Definitely where we expect to see Marmont. Great to see him back up there. Hopefully we'll be able to carry that momentum from now on back into the next few rounds. As they go down, Team CDR, Rockstar Yamaha greeting him as he comes back. And we'll look at the official results right now. There is Marmont with the 1st, Jake Moss in 2nd, Hansen in 3rd, and a great ride by Todd Waters finally in 4th.
Yeah, great to see him up there in top 4 placings on the Cougar Thor Honda, that's for sure. Daniel McCoy, another solid placing. He's got to be happy with his efforts here tonight in Launceston. In Auckland, scratch that. Ty Simmons, Michael Phillips, and Cody Cooper.
8th place for Cooper. Lewis Woods with a good 9th. Bo Rolston in 10th, so a couple of privateers getting up there, having some great results as well.
Daniel Reardon back there in 13th place. Mason Phillips, Luke Wilson, and Mike Alessi.
Alessi back there a long way. Hasn't been the night, nor was it Jeff Alessi's night. Unfortunate for both of them guys. They haven't had the run they wanted here in New Zealand. Let's take a look at the best hole shot of the night. And you know what? I agree. This one here by Phillips was just great to watch. The style across there, full motocross style, New Zealand motocross style. Awesome to see.
That's New Zealand thumping that style right there. Have a look at the Superx whole shot points after round 4. Josh Hansen on 3, Justin Brayton on 2, and Daniel Reardon and Craig Anderson on 1 each.
Marmont also has one too. Also as well, Kevin Winden and Michael Phillips there as well. So good table developing there. And now Hansen made all his hole shots tonight. He should be able to really get up there and I know, challenge for that lead as that goes towards the end of the series.
Well, Hansen got 3 out of 4 until I did the commentator's moz on him, and he messed up that last one. My bad, sorry. Rounds points. Here we go. Josh Hansen on 95, stretching that lead in the championship out even further over Jay Marmont, 87.
Yeah, second place for Marmont and 86 to Jake Moss, so very close there between second and third.
Great night tonight for Daniel McCoy, 5th place and 56, top 5. And there we see 6th, Cody Cooper, number 10 with 52 points, Todd Waters and Michael Lessie.
Well, Cooper's still got a good overall result. Now I expected to see a lot more out of him tonight. He was just buried in the pack, I think, off the starts. And these short races, you just got to get that intensity up as soon as that gate drops and get up there and make those passes.
And 13th, 14th, actually equal 14th, Matty Hayworth and Michael Phillips. Back there in 13th was Luke Davis. Great ride from him.
Yeah, what a night it's been here. And good to see that these New Zealand riders have stepped it up tonight as well. Really given a good challenge. Let's go down to Gary Reid.
Well, the Rockstar Motul Suzuki rider, Jake Moss, first of all, glad to see you here. Round number 4, finally on the podium.
Yeah, it's definitely about time. You know, I've been riding hard, and you know, I think I went the wrong way. I've now kind of been having a rest and feeling good for the races, and just got to give it up to the team, Rockstar Motul Suzuki, you know, Oakley, Moss Institute, my whole family. I love you guys so much. My beautiful girlfriend, and my hat goes off to Harley Quinlan, man. I feel for you, dude, and I feel for your family, and hopefully you can pull through and have a good time back here at the races.
All right, Mossy, well, thanks very much, and hope to see you back up here next week as well. 3rd position, first podium for the year for Jake Moss, unlike him. 2nd position, what a fight tonight it was, and took out race number 4, the CDR Rockstar Yamaha rider, Jay Marmont. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks a lot. You know, it's more than a relief than anything. You know, I've been riding really tight this year, and just haven't been able to, you know, find my rhythm yet. But, you know, I think we broke the ice tonight. We went out there and, you know, got good starts, which is what we worked on a lot during the week, and got off the gate a lot better, all except for the 3rd race. And, yeah, you know, I just got to give it up for Team CDR Rockstar Yamaha. They've really got behind me this year, and you know, they believed in me the whole way. We're still sitting 2nd in the championship. Josh is a little bit clear now, but we're sitting pretty. So, yeah, you know, thanks to Ensure My Ride, Oakley, Fox, and, you know, this gear is Australian gear. I wore it out here. I know all you guys are watching back home, but, you know, we're gonna put it on eBay for Harley Quinlan. He hurt himself during the weekend. He's in a wheelchair. So, you know, get on there and bid for him. You know, motocross is a tough sport, but let's get behind our fellow Aussie motocrossers and supercrossers.
All right, well, thank you very much, Jay. Well, there it is. Check it out, ebay.com.au. The gear's going on there, and I'm going to get on and start $500 from me, boys. Now, in first place, I should say, tonight he has had interviews after interview. There's girls, there's everything. Josh Hansen, the Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki rider. Now, you said yourself no one is perfect. Wasn't 4 from 4, but 3 from 4, not bad.
Yeah, it was cool. I enjoyed myself tonight. I really wanted to make it 4 for 4, and came up a little bit short, but I'm happy the way the night went. I felt like I rode good, and I want to thank Monster for letting me be here and visit this beautiful place. It's been good so far.
Now, you are having a good time in Australia, of course. Now you're over here to New Zealand. You're talking about coming back next year.
Yeah, I really do want to come back. I'm enjoying my time. I enjoy the people. I enjoy the fans. So, yeah, this is where I'd like to be next year. Come over here and visit and do the same thing.
All right, Josh, we'll have a good time in New Zealand, and we'll see you next weekend. From down here on the podium, guys, 1st, 2nd and 3rd, Josh, of course, Jay Marmont and Jake Moss as well. Check it out for Harley Quinlan as well, guys. $500 is starting bid.
Yeah, definitely a shout out to Harley. Our prayers are with you.
Thanks very much, guys. Back to you.
Yes, great job for our 1st, 2nd, 3rd place getters, but American up on top again here in Auckland, New Zealand. Josh Hansen, he leads the championship on 225 points ahead of Jay Marmont, 193.
Yeah, it is a little bit of a gap, but still they can be clawed back by Marmont if you get some good results over the next few. As we go back down through the order, McCoy also in 7th place, Waters. Brayton, of course, isn't here for any of the other ones. Leslie, Lewis, Woods, there you go. Equal 9th place, that's great.
That's a great job. That's our top privateer place getter on the Top Gear KTM right there.
Matt Hayworth, Cody Cooper.
Well, that's all we've got time for here in Auckland. We hope you've enjoyed the racing. On behalf of Global Action Sports, Danny Ham, Gary Reid and myself, Lee Hogan, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week, same time for Dunedin's Round 5 of Monster Energy Superx.